My husband's office holiday party had a secret Santa exchange. The next day, I found a necklace in his briefcase, with a card that read, "Wear this when you think of me." He claimed it was a gift for a client. So I waited. At the next company event, his colleague wore the necklace and smiled at him a little too long. I walked up to her and whispered, "Does he think of you right now?" I, 34 female, have been married to my husband Daniel, 36 male, for just over 8 years. We live in the suburbs of Chicago. No kids yet, but we talked about trying soon. I work in HR for a mid-sized tech company, and Daniel works for a large marketing firm downtown. His job has always kept him busy, late nights, client dinners, weekend strategy meetings, but I never questioned it. I trusted him. Or I used to. It started a few weeks before Christmas. Daniel mentioned that his office was doing a secret Santa gift exchange during their annual holiday party. He didn't seem that into it. Said it was mandatory fun, rolled his eyes, same as every year. I offered to help him pick a gift, but he said he'd already handled it. The night of the party came. I wasn't invited, it was for employees only, something about the budget, blah blah. Whatever. Not the first time I skipped one of his work events. He left the house in a charcoal gray suit, red tie, shiny shoes. He looked good, I'll admit that. I told him to have fun and reminded him not to drink too much. He came home late. Not super late, but later than I expected, about 1:30 a.m. I was already in bed but half awake when I heard him come in. He said something about the party going long, grabbed a bottle of water, and got into bed. He smelled like cologne and scotch. Nothing major, right? The next morning, while he was in the shower, I was looking for my phone charger in his work bag. I know, it was kind of snoopy, but I honestly didn't mean to snoop. I just couldn't find mine. That's when I saw it. A small black velvet box, half hidden under a folder. I opened it. Inside was a thin silver necklace with a small heart pendant. Delicate. Not cheap. Not crazy expensive either, but definitely thoughtful. Romantic. There was a card tucked underneath. "Wear this when you think of me." My stomach dropped. I didn't know what to do at first. I stared at it for a few minutes, just processing. Then I put it back exactly how I found it, zipped the bag, and sat on the couch. My hands were shaking. When Daniel came downstairs, dressed for the gym, I brought it up. Me, "Hey. I saw the necklace in your bag." Him, pauses. "Oh. That? It's for a client. Part of a thank you thing." I looked at him. Right in the eyes. What kind of client needs a necklace with a heart and that note? He didn't flinch. Just shrugged. "It's just a small token. She's one of our longtime clients. Kind of a running joke in the office." I didn't believe him. But I nodded and let it go. For now. I wish I could say I forgot about it, but that would be a lie. I thought about it every day. I started noticing little things, how he started locking his phone. How he took calls outside. How he suddenly had more client dinners. Then, 2 weeks later, the company threw a New Year's event. This one I was invited to, it was a formal dinner at a hotel downtown. Daniel didn't seem thrilled about me coming, which was weird. He said it was boring, I wouldn't know anyone, he'd be working the room all night. But I insisted. I wore a navy blue dress. He wore his charcoal suit again. We took an Uber to the hotel. The ballroom was big, crowded, full of coworkers and their partners. We mingled, ate finger foods, sipped wine. That's when I saw her. She was standing near the bar, laughing with a group of Daniel's coworkers. Medium height, dark red hair, wearing a forest green dress. And the necklace. The necklace. The same heart pendant, glinting under the lights. I couldn't breathe. She wasn't just wearing it. She was showing it off, touching it absent-mindedly, like it meant something. I watched her glance around the room and land on Daniel. They locked eyes. She smiled. He smiled back. And it wasn't casual. It wasn't friendly. It was long. Familiar. Intimate. Something inside me snapped. I walked straight up to her, heart pounding so loud I could barely hear anything else. She turned toward me, still smiling. I leaned in close and whispered, "Does he think of you right now?" Her face went blank. Like someone slapped her without touching her. She blinked, looked at Daniel, then back at me, then walked away without saying a word. Daniel came over a minute later. "What did you say to Sophie?" "Oh. So that was her name." I looked him dead in the eye. "We'll talk at home." And that's where I'll pause this, for now. Because that conversation? That night? What came next? It's not over. And I don't think it ever will be. But that's the moment everything changed. So, after that night at the company event, the silence between us was loud. Daniel and I sat in the Uber back home like strangers. No small talk. No hand-holding. Just heavy breathing and thoughts too loud to ignore. I stared out the window, replaying that moment, her face, the necklace, the way he looked at her, over and over in my mind like a stuck record. When we got home, he headed straight for the kitchen like nothing happened. I followed. "Who is she to you, Daniel?" I asked. My voice didn't shake. I was done shaking. "She's just a colleague," he said. "We work together." That's it. Just a colleague who wears a necklace you bought. With a note that says, "Wear this when you think of me." He paused. That pause told me everything. Then he said, "It wasn't supposed to mean anything." I laughed. Couldn't help it. It came out cold and bitter. You don't write that on a card to someone who doesn't mean anything. He sat down at the dining table, hands rubbing his face. "It was stupid, okay? She was going through a rough time. Divorce. Lonely. We started talking more. It got emotional, but it never went beyond that." "So you emotionally cheated," I said, staring at him. He didn't say no. I walked to the bedroom and shut the door. I didn't sleep that night. I stared at the ceiling in the dark, thinking about every dinner he worked late, every client meeting, every time he turned his phone face down. My whole body felt heavy. Betrayed. A few days passed. We didn't talk much. I wasn't ready, and he didn't push. Then one morning, I got a message on Facebook. A name I didn't recognize. Tanya R. I almost deleted it, thinking it was spam, but something made me open it. "Hi. I'm sorry to message you like this. I think you deserve to know the truth about Daniel and Sophie." I froze. She attached screenshots, texts between Sophie and Daniel. Not just the emotional kind. They were graphic. Pictures. Flirty messages. Sophie talking about a hotel they'd stayed at after the fake conference. Him saying he missed her body. Her saying she wanted to leave everything for him. I felt sick. I scrolled. Dozens of messages. Months worth. I wrote back, "Why are you sending me this?" She responded, "Sophie brags at work. She said you found the necklace but still believed his lies." She laughed. Said she had him wrapped around her finger. I couldn't keep quiet. Tanya was a junior associate at the firm. She'd overheard things, seen things. Apparently, Daniel and Sophie weren't exactly discreet when they traveled for client pitches. I sat at the kitchen table with my laptop open, staring at the screen, heart racing. Daniel came downstairs, still in pajama pants. I turned the screen toward him. "Explain this." His face dropped. Full body freeze. He didn't even try to lie. He said nothing. Just sat down, head in his hands. "You didn't just cheat emotionally," I said, my voice rising. "You lied." Again. And again. He looked up, his eyes red. It was a mistake. No. A mistake is forgetting to take out the trash. You planned this. You booked hotels. You bought gifts. You told her you missed her. She made me feel important, he said quietly. That's when I lost it. And I didn't? I built this life with you. I cooked, I cleaned, I supported your career. And you gave your best to someone else. For what? Some office fling? He tried to touch my hand. I pulled away. That day, I packed a bag and went to stay with my sister. I didn't say how long I'd be gone. I didn't care. I needed space. But it didn't end there. 2 days later, I got another message. From Sophie. Yup. Sophie H. Just so you know, I didn't take him from you. He left emotionally a long time ago. Maybe if you'd paid more attention, this wouldn't have happened. That message lit a fire in me I didn't know I had. I didn't respond. But I did screenshot it. Sent it to Daniel. And then I sent it to Tanya. Tanya said something that stuck with me. Don't let her rewrite the story. You're not the reason he cheated. He is. I still don't know what I'm going to do next. Daniel keeps texting. Apologizing. Wanting to talk. Promising therapy. Change. That he loves me. But love doesn't look like this. And I don't know if I can ever look at him without seeing her. There's more. Oh, there's more. But that's all I've got for now. I stayed at my sister's place for a few days. I didn't tell her everything at first, just said Daniel and I were having problems. But one night, I broke down and told her everything. The necklace. The texts. Sophie's smug little message. She was furious. Said she always got a weird vibe from Daniel, but didn't want to say anything back then. Classic. While I was trying to hold myself together, Daniel kept texting. Long paragraphs, voice notes, saying he missed me. That he was ashamed. That he still loved me. I ignored most of them. Until he sent a picture. It was the necklace. Broken in half. I told her it's over, he wrote. I told HR too. She might not be at the company much longer. Wait, what? I didn't reply. But I called Tanya. She said, yeah, there's been drama. Sophie was called into HR. Apparently she got written up for sending you that message. But it's more than that. Daniel told them he was cutting ties. She went off. Off how? I asked. She showed up at the office crying. Said he used her. Threatened to tell his boss everything. So now it wasn't just personal. It was about to get professional. And that's when the next twist hit. Tanya messaged me again the next day. You should know. Sophie's not divorced. I froze. What? Her husband's still around. Quiet guy. Name's Marcus. I think they're separated, but not legally. He showed up at the office once asking to speak with Daniel. My jaw dropped. So Daniel wasn't just cheating. He was involved with someone who was also married. And her husband knew. My heart started racing. I didn't know whether to laugh or cry. Part of me wondered if Daniel even knew about Marcus. Later that night, I got another message, this time from an unknown number. It was him. Marcus. I don't mean to intrude. I'm Sophie's husband. Or. I guess ex, soon. She told me about your husband. I think we should talk. I didn't reply right away. But after an hour of staring at the screen, I called him. His voice was calm. Too calm. Like someone who had already felt the storm and was now living in the wreckage. He told me they'd been on and off for over a year. That he found the texts too. That Sophie admitted to everything. She said your husband promised to leave you for her, Marcus said. She believed him. That hit me hard. Leave me? He never said that to me. He never even hinted at it. I asked, did she say when it started? April, he said. April. That was 8 months ago. 8 months of lying, covering, sneaking. 8 months where I was right there. Making him dinner, washing his clothes, planning vacations. Marcus said something else I haven't forgotten. I think they got addicted to the fantasy. They thought it was secret. Exciting. But neither of them had the guts to do anything real. I hung up and cried until my head hurt. When I finally returned home, Daniel was sitting at the kitchen table again. Same table. Same guilty face. Like déjà vu. I want to tell you everything, he said. So I let him talk. He admitted it all. Said it started after a work retreat in April. They got drunk. Made out. It turned physical a month later. They booked hotels. Made up work trips. Lied to everyone. I asked, did you ever plan to leave me for her? He shook his head. No. I never wanted to leave you. So you wanted both. He didn't deny it. Then he added one more thing. She's pregnant. I stared at him. What? She said she's pregnant. I don't know if it's true. I don't know if it's mine. I felt like the air had been knocked out of my lungs. Pregnant. Pregnant. So now I wasn't just dealing with betrayal. I might be dealing with a child. A living, permanent reminder of what he did. I stood up. Grabbed my keys. Walked out. And now I'm here. At a motel down the road. Typing this from a scratchy bedspread under a buzzing light. I don't know what comes next. I don't know what I'm going to do. But it feels like every time I think I've hit bottom, the floor drops again. This isn't over. There's more coming, I can feel it. If anyone's still reading, I'll keep you posted. So yeah, I left after he told me she was pregnant. I stayed in that motel for 2 nights. Didn't answer his calls. Barely ate. Just laid there, phone in my hand, reading and rereading the last texts, trying to figure out where it all broke. On the 3rd night, I got a call. From Tanya. Hey, you might want to come downtown. Sophie just showed up at the office. She's making a scene. And she's not alone. I knew what that meant. Marcus. I didn't even hesitate. I grabbed my keys, didn't bother with makeup, drove straight into the city. My stomach was in knots the whole way. When I got there, Tanya was outside, waiting. She's in the lobby. Security's trying to keep it quiet, but it's bad. I walked in and the first thing I saw was Sophie, crying, screaming, red-faced, mascara-streaked. Marcus stood beside her, arms crossed. Calm, but tense. And then Daniel. He looked like death. Pale. Sweaty. He was trying to get Sophie to leave quietly. She wasn't having it. I gave up everything for you, she shouted. You told me you loved me. People from the building were standing around, watching. Marcus spotted me. Walked over. You should be here for this, he said. Sophie saw me too. And that's when her rage turned. Oh, here she is. The perfect wife. Poor, betrayed, clueless little housewife. Daniel tried to pull her away, but she yanked back. You want her now? After everything? After what we did? You told me you were leaving her, she screamed. You said it every time we were in those hotels. Daniel finally shouted back. I lied. Silence. Everyone in the lobby froze. You lied, she whispered. I was never going to leave her. It was just sex. You were just a distraction. Marcus muttered, Jesus Christ. Sophie broke. She hit Daniel in the chest with both hands. Over and over. I gave you everything. I told you I was pregnant. Daniel stepped back. You're not pregnant. She stopped. Breathing hard. He turned to me. She's not. She made it up to scare me. I didn't say anything. Not yet. I just looked at her. And Sophie, who had been so loud just moments ago, crumbled. Sat down on the floor. Started sobbing into her hands. The act was over. Daniel looked at me again. I'm sorry. I was stupid. I was selfish. But I want to fix this. Please let me fix this. Marcus just shook his head and walked out. I followed him. We stood outside in the freezing air. Are you okay? He asked. No, I said. But thank you. For the truth. He nodded. She's out of my life now. I think she snapped. But that's not my problem anymore. Mine either. I went home that night. Packed Daniel's things. Left them by the door. When he got home, he just stood there, looking at the bags. I'm not ready to forgive you, I said. And I don't think I ever will. He tried again. We can go to therapy. Please. I'll quit my job. I'll do anything. I looked him straight in the eye. You did everything but leave me when you were supposed to. And now? Now it's too late. He didn't fight. He cried. For the first time, I think he really felt what he had done. But I didn't cry with him. I was already too empty. It's been 6 weeks since that night. We filed for separation. I moved in with my sister for a while, then found a small apartment of my own. Quiet, peaceful. No echoes of his voice. No lies in the walls. Daniel emails sometimes. Nothing romantic, just updates. He started therapy. He left the marketing firm. Said he's trying to become a better man. Good for him. Sophie? She quit before they could fire her. Moved back to her hometown. According to Tanya, she's still a mess. But that's not my business anymore. Marcus and I still talk occasionally. Not romantically, just two people who went through a war together. We check in every now and then. I think we both needed someone who truly understood. I never thought I'd be the person with a cheating story. I used to read them and think, I'd leave in a heartbeat. But when it happens to you, it's not that simple. Love messes with your brain. It makes excuses. It wants to fix what can't be fixed. But I learned something, you can love someone and still need to walk away. I don't hate Daniel. Not anymore. But I don't love him either. He destroyed the trust we built. And no matter how many apologies he gives, no matter how many therapy sessions he books, it won't bring that trust back. It's gone. And I've made peace with that. I'm learning how to be alone. How to enjoy silence. How to laugh without second-guessing what's hiding behind it. There's still pain. But it's quieter now. If you're going through this, if you're in that confusing, painful middle space, I want you to know this, you're not stupid. You're not weak. And you're not alone. Healing is ugly and slow. But it comes. And when it does, it feels like breathing for the first time.